nah, that shit. You know what I'm saying? When you willing to write a song, you know what I'm saying? Like how many niggas out there right now is like, yo, I'm willing to write a song. Vlad, what up? What's good, my dude? How many women out there is like, yo, my man wrote me a song. We've been together 12 years strong. This nigga wrote me a song. Hardly any. You know what I'm saying? Hardly any. Trinity said, keep the corny dude how he is and deal with it. You see? Because corny niggas, they'll stick by you. Corny niggas will give you 70% of that check, and all he want is, yo, Jay, all that nigga want is Sundays off. Thank you, my dear. What's this, cucumber? I don't drink no cucumber, man. I appreciate it, though. Ugh. Yeah. But, Jay, the funny shit is, I feel like, yo, if you get with somebody at a young age, right? 19, 20, and y'all together for 20 years, that's good, and I'm happy for y'all. But is that your soulmate? And just Trinity, you heard it? I tried to hold the shit back, but the shit slipped out. Anyhow, though. So if you get together at 18, 19, 20, and you together for 10, 15 years, and y'all still together, more power to you. God bless you. You know what I'm saying? I just find that that's not the norm by any circumstances. That's not the norm. But I'm happy for y'all. But again, divorce rate in America is 52%, which means getting married and staying married for more than 10 years is only at 48%, which means people ain't really getting together and staying together. So my point is, your soulmate or your Mr. Right. Is Mr. Right like in your imagination? Like, is your Mr. Right at 18 the same Mr. Right at 38? You know, is your Mr. Right that nigga off of your checklist? Like, oh, he got coolie hair, and he brown, and he's 6'2", and whatever the fuck, and he drive this, and whatever? Or as you turn a certain age, Mr. Right is like, yo, the nigga stable, he got a 401k, he got a bank account, you know what I'm saying? He don't got no kids. What? His baby mother's dead, so we ain't got to really worry about the drama. Like, who is Mr. Right right now? You know what I mean? Jay said that depends on the person, which is a good point. Yahida said, nope, standards change at different ages. As you mature, some people do settle. That's true. Which brings me to my point, and I'm glad you said that. Thank you for that. Settling. I think settling is why we even go Mr. Right now. What makes you settle? You know, what makes you defer from your original Mr. Right? You know what I'm saying? I mean, Mr. Right essentially is all of the good. I mean, forget the checklist. Forget going down the line. Hey, Jessica. Biggs, what's shaking, baby? What's shaking? Forget going down the line and checking off all of these imaginary, immature things. Just, your Mr. Right essentially is all of the things that you prefer in a person that make you happy, right? Let's call him that, right? Now that we know that, though, what makes us get away from that and be like, yo, yeah, he do drugs, but he only smoke weed? I mean, when we was young, we didn't want nobody that even smoked a cigarette. Even to this day, you prefer somebody to smoke weed and smoke cigarettes, right? But you'll settle for the nigga who smoked a cigarette if he do all of these other things. You know, he only smoke at work. He don't bring that shit home. Like, whatever the fuck. Why do so many people settle as opposed to sticking to their guns and be like, you know what? This is what I want, and I'm not going to settle until I get it. Somebody tell me. Yahida said, I've been with my husband for 16 years. Congratulations. I'm not being what you call it, sarcastic. That's a big deal. That's what's up. 6 years married. That's what's up too. It took for me to almost lose him to know that he is my soulmate. When did you find out he was your soulmate though? After adversity? When did you find out like, yo, you know what, this dude is my soulmate. Because if it wasn't, let me tell you what I've heard, and I'm glad you said that too. Cooking with Juice said people settle for what they think they deserve to have or what they think they're good enough to have. That's a good point. That's a good point. That's a really good point. Which I guess goes to show how people feel about their own worth. So I could dig it. So back to Yahida though, she said she almost had to lose her husband to realize like, yo, that's my soulmate. And I guess again, one of my friends, this was years and years ago, one of my friends actually told me, and I kind of believe it. I mean, I definitely thought about it at the time, and as I got a little bit older, I started to believe it. I don't know how much I believe it now, but it made a lot of sense to me. She was like, men fall in love faster than women. Women kind of eventually figure out that they're in love with somebody, is what I mean. And while men, on the other hand, they'll not notice it, but they'll be in love with a girl a lot faster than a woman would be in love with a man. You know, they'll have this feeling of, I'm already in love with her, a lot quicker than a woman will. A woman will, again, I guess, quote unquote, run down the checklist of things that make her feel like she's in love. And I kind of believe that. I don't think most women fall in love right away. I think they eventually fall in love. While men, they be like, yo, she bad and she could do this and do that too, and she like to do this too. I think I'm going to hold on to that. And that's the men's definition of love, because we're not going to say it, you know what I'm saying, at a certain age especially. We're not going to say it out loud. But we'll feel it and not really recognize it, because men are naturally insecure. You know what I mean? Men are naturally insecure. But Cooking with Juice, that was a good point, though. That was a good point. And 6 years is a long time, too. That's what's up. So some of the questions that I have kind of came from the conversation that I had with my friend who had hit me up about her husband and whatnot. Again, she was another one who she feels trapped almost. But I feel like he should also feel trapped. You know what I'm saying? Because, I only know this because I know her personally. They started out, he had a girlfriend already. He already had a girl. And she was the side piece, and she knew it, and she was okay with it. She was okay with it. And she had a baby for him. Right? She had a baby for the dude. And he left his other girlfriend, who didn't have no kids, he left her to be with this girl. Couldn't he feel trapped too? I mean, who's to say that he actually feels like, yo, this is my soulmate? Unless he's just one of those dudes who be like, yo, you know what? It's like, it's God's will kind of thinking. Like, yo, things happen for a reason. Like, I was meant to have a baby with her. The condom was supposed to pop. She was supposed to get pregnant. She was supposed to, the dog was supposed to eat all the Plan Bs and the birth control pills. Whatever. Like, she was supposed to not get off of me when I told her I was coming. That kind of shit. So, again, that's where I'm kind of going with it. I'm kind of going with it in a sense like, who's to say that a soulmate, put it like this, if me and you are in a relationship and I feel like you're my soulmate, who's to say that you feel like I'm your soulmate? What makes me your soulmate? What makes me your soulmate? For you to be a soulmate with somebody, don't the feelings got to be mutual? Right? The feelings got to be mutual, don't it? That's the way I'm looking at it. Right? That's just me. That's just the way I'm looking at it. The feelings got to be mutual. So I just got an email. And it says, let me try to make sense of it. I love him and I want to fix him, but he's just not the one for me. What do I do? Already right off the top. She said she want to fix him. Ladies, Have any of you ever fixed a man? Ever in life? And I don't mean a man that you gave birth to. I mean a man at all. Yahida said, he's stupid for leaving his main for his side. Just because you have a child with someone doesn't mean you stay with that person. I totally agree, right? But I feel like a lot of people. All right, Buster, let me just get personal. Fuck it, man, because we out here. Femme fatale, what's good? I got with somebody when I was young, and we had a child when I was young. I think I was like 21, and to me that's young, because you don't really know shit, right? You kind of just figuring things out, and you're still a kid, really, you know? I had a kid when I was young, and we stayed together. One of the reasons that I stayed was because I didn't want to be another one of those guys, right? I didn't want to be another one of those guys who felt like, who was like, yo, yeah, I got a kid, and that's my baby mother, and I'll see the kid on the weekend, and I'll just go throw some money over there. I didn't want to be that guy. But as time went on, I realized I didn't want to be with her no more, but I stayed around for my daughter at the time. You know what I'm saying? Then we had another kid. But by that time, my relationship was already over. Like, we was already like, yo, this relationship is done. But I feel like I stayed a couple years too long. And I'm not trying to diss nobody. I'm not trying to disrespect nobody. I'm just being honest. Like, it is what it is. The facts are the facts. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like I stayed too long. So I kind of disagree with that in a sense, because I feel like it's the wrong thing to do. You know? I don't feel like you should stay with somebody because you have a kid with them. But I do feel like a lot of us, men in particular and women, actually stay with somebody and probably stay too long with that person because of the children. I mean, you hear this shit all the time. I stayed for the kids. You know, let's let it work for the kids. You know, what about the kids? I mean, it's a big deal. You know what I'm saying? Kids are a big deal. Kids are a big deal. You know what I mean? Yahida said that's the worst reason to stay. You probably right. And you know what? I agree with you, because what happens is you start to resent the person that you with. You start to resent the kids. You start to resent everything. You know what I'm saying? Crystal, what's good? Crystal said, not possible to quote unquote fix anything or a dog or a cat. I agree. I wish I could like your comment. I don't see the thumbs up, but you know, thumbs up. But yeah, I agree with that. You know what I'm saying? Real quick, let me touch on something real quick. Nicki Minaj got bodied, but let me get back to what the fuck I'm talking about. When you finally, you know, figure out, or you finally realize, like, yo, I'm not in love with this person no more, but you can't leave, or you feel like you can't leave, do you feel like you subconsciously start to resent the person? Like, everything they do get on your nerves? Steph, what's good? I'm glad you showed up, yo. I'm glad you showed up. My lady made me some water with some cucumber and some lemon. I don't drink that shit, but I'm gonna drink it. I'm gonna drink it because of the thought, but guess what? I don't be drinking this shit. I prefer much more to just drink some regular water with all this cucumber and all that. Unless it's doing something for like my stomach, or it's gonna do something for my skin. I don't really. It's just too much shit in there. It's not even water anymore. You know what I mean? Yahida said it's the worst because then your child grows to see the anger between you. Exactly. The arguments, everything becomes negative. Exactly. How can you show your child to be happy if you settle? That's a good goddamn point. Yahida, please, before we get off, or even when we do get off, hit my inbox. I want to ask you a question. All right, don't forget. Please, I'm asking you. And please tell your husband that I asked you to, I just need to ask you a question. He can be right there. I'm not that kind of guy. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I've been married for these many years and all that other shit, and you have broken the cycle. You know what I'm saying? My man Luke, what's good though? Yahida said, of course you resent them, because in the back of your head, you know you could have did better. And I agree. And I think that's part of it. A lot of that shit is the resentment. Crystal said, yuck at cucumber and lemon water. Who you telling? You know what, though? It actually don't taste too bad. But you could taste the cucumber, and I'm not a cucumber guy. You know what I'm saying? Unless it got, like, ranch dressing on the shit. You know what I mean? But anyway. But she's a sweetheart for hooking you up. Yeah, she hooked me. She did. Yeah, she hooked me up. The sweetheart part, I don't know. But she hooked me up, though. You see that vein across this shit? I didn't put that shit there. That nigga put that shit there. Do you feel like you subconsciously have that anger? If it's even subconscious. You know what I'm saying? Like, ladies, if you with a man who you feel like, damn, I should have never let this nigga get me pregnant. You know what I'm saying? My mother told me about this shit. Or, yo, my homegirl was like, yo, he got a reputation. He like to take the condoms off. And I should have was like, yo, you know what? I should have checked to see if the nigga had the rubber on. But you got pregnant by the nigga, and you had twins for this nigga. You know what I'm saying? Crystal, you stupid. But yeah, you had twins for this nigga now. You know what I mean? So, do you Yahida was saying, like, yo, everything becomes an issue. No matter what, he could be nice, he could be sweet, he could look good, but you like, nigga, you're mean and you ugly. You know what I'm saying? He could buy you the brand new 2017 shit, and you was like, nigga, this shit is ugly and it's dirty. Because you're not really feeling him, because you're not feeling what you feel like is the life that he put you in, almost. You know what I mean? Steph said, I should have never had a kid for that bum ninja. You see? And you know what? And you know what, Steph? I'm glad you showed up, because as one of the realer people I know in my life, I would love to hear your 2 cents on shit like this. Again, we talking about Mr. Right versus Mr. Right now. And for the dudes out there, we talking about Mrs. Right versus Mrs. Right now. You know what I'm saying? How many ladies have ever felt used by a dude? Like, yo, all he doing is using me for some you know what and this money. You know what I'm saying? She said, I hear that accent trying to surface. I'm trying to suppress the shit because you know your man Trump? I heard that nigga all up and down Utica Avenue, Church Ave, Flatbush. You know what I'm saying? Kicking doors in, snatching niggas up and bringing them to, you know what I'm saying, wherever he bringing them. So I'm doing my shit from a remote location. You know what I'm saying? My shit is remote, son. You know what I mean? But how many of you ladies ever felt like this dude is using you, or he just a user? Like, all he do is, he just want to have sex, and he want to come over and eat some food and borrow my car. And I meet him, you know, he'll bring the shit back Sunday night. I mean, I know a lot of ladies who felt like, yo, all these niggas want to do is use you. I mean, you probably Mrs. Right now. You're probably her, and you just don't even know the shit. You know what I'm saying? It's that serious, though. It happens that quick. Like, you don't even know that you're Mrs. Right now or Mr. Right now. I keep it real with you. Even with my fine ass, I keep it real with you. I was Mr. Right now, and I figured that shit out after the shit was already done. Well, I'm lying. Not even after it was done. Toward the ending of the shit, I realized that I was Mr. Right now instead of Mr. Right. Yeah, you stupid. Steph said, I felt that way, but my dumb ass knew he was doing that. How can you not know? I mean, you know, I was definitely Mr. Right now for a while. You know what I'm saying? Everything this chick wanted, or wanted to do rather, because I wasn't on no trick and shit, but I felt like, yo, you know, like, you trying to get with somebody, and you doing what it takes. You know what I'm saying? You ain't trying to let nobody pay for their own meal, unless we like, yo, we going out, but you paying for your own meal. I'm not that type of dude. Even with a friend, I might pay if I got it, depending. You know what I'm saying? Depending on how much the shit costs. I mean, if we splitting like a chicken finger and fries basket, I'll pay for the shit. But if you like, yeah, we about this motherfucker, and you trying to buy all types of shit, I'm like, nigga, I didn't come out here with that kind of bread. I came out here for chicken fingers and fries kind of bread. Or Jack Daniel's burger kind of bread. I didn't come out here with no lobster and shrimp bread. You know what I'm saying? But I knew that I was I was probably even a side nigga, but at the time I didn't care because I was still on it like, well, I'm getting what I want. I just want more. You know what I'm saying? But I realized that I was right, Mr. Right Now. And that shit hurt, man. Because the male ego is so fragile. I'm dressed in my best shit. My swag on 200 million. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just like, yo, why I can't get what the fuck I want? And I didn't break out of this shit until I was like, yo, you know what? Let me remove myself and see how the fuck this shit works. And when I removed myself,